Did you know that there are parts of New York City where the chance of becoming a victim of a crime is around 1 in 21? And there are 20 New York cities and towns that Money Inc. recommend you stay away from? As with every city in the world, there are places that are less desirable to live due to factors like high crime rates, poor cost of living, high levels of immigration, homelessness, and much more. In recent years, New York City has struggled with all of these problems and more. To that, there are certain areas of the city that have a bad reputation, with some even being places experts recommend you avoid altogether. So today on Across the Globe, we're going to be looking at the worst places to live in New York City. Number 10, Tremont. Tremont is a neighborhood located in the Bronx, New York City, situated approximately 10 miles north of Lower Manhattan. Known as one of the lowest income areas in the city, Tremont is home to a predominantly Black and Hispanic population. The neighborhood has struggled with poverty, crime, and neglect for decades, with many of its residents facing significant economic and social challenges. In May 2024, Property Club ranked Tremont 10th on their list of the 12 most dangerous neighborhoods in NYC. They noted how Tremont has always been notorious for its high crime rates and is considered one of the bad parts of New York for that very reason. They also stated how, in order to deal with crime rates that are almost 200% above average, Tremont has 2 separate police precincts. According to Crime Grade, on average, a crime occurs every 56 minutes in Tremont. Residents of Tremont face a 1 in 35 chance of becoming the victim of a crime, and the average violent crime rate is about 1,223 per 100,000 people. Number 9, Bushwick. Bushwick is a neighborhood located in northern Brooklyn, New York City, with a rich history dating back to the 1800s. Once a predominantly industrial area, Bushwick has undergone significant transformation in recent years, becoming a popular destination for artists, young professionals, and families seeking affordable housing options outside of Manhattan. The neighborhood's industrial landscape is still visible, with old warehouses and factories converted into trendy bars, restaurants, and live music venues. However, despite its revitalization, Bushwick still struggles with high crime rates, which have contributed to lingering concerns about safety and gentrification. In May 2024, Property Club ranked Bushwick 9th on their list of the 12 most dangerous neighborhoods in NYC. They noted how residents of the area face a 1 in 40 chance of becoming a victim of a crime. Here, the average violent crime rate is about 727 per 100,000 people, and the average crime rate is about 2,511 per 100,000 people. Number 8, Endicott. With a population of around 13,000 residents, Endicott is a small New York community that has undergone significant revitalization efforts in recent years. However, it has had a long-standing bad reputation for drug use. In fact, if you take a look on Niche, many residents have left negative reviews and mentioned the area's drug problems as a major concern. In May 2024, New Country Albany listed Endicott 8th on their list of the 20 worst places to live in New York. They attributed this ranking to Endicott having the second lowest median home value in the state of New York at $88,300. According to Money Inc., there are limited job options in Endicott, meaning people have to work elsewhere. This, in turn, can make commute times longer and lead to a dwindling population. Number 7, Fordham. Fordham is a neighborhood located in the Bronx, New York City, situated approximately 10 miles north of Midtown Manhattan. It is nestled between the Cross Bronx Expressway to the east and the Harlem River to the west, offering stunning views of the city skyline. Fordham is bounded by the borough's other neighborhoods, including University Heights to the north, Belmont to the east, and Belmont to the south. In May 2024, Property Club ranked Fordham 7th on their list of the 12 most dangerous neighborhoods in NYC. They noted how despite Fordham's small size, the area has an assault rate that is over 5 times higher than the national average. Because of how much crime there is in the area, it also upholds distinct police forces for the north and south. With the average violent crime rate being around 1,251 per 100,000 people, Property Club strongly advised against walking around at night by yourself. Outside of the worrying crime levels, Fordham also struggles with poverty. According to Point Two Homes, with a population of just over 75,000 residents, a striking 21,217 people live below the poverty line. Number 6. East Harlem. East Harlem is a neighborhood in Upper Manhattan, New York City. Located between the Harlem River and the East River, East Harlem is bounded by Central Park to the west and the East Village to the south. The neighborhood has a plush history dating back to the 19th century, when it was a major hub for Black American and Puerto Rican communities. Today, East Harlem has a notorious reputation for high levels of crime and poverty. In 2022, the poverty rate in East Harlem was 38.2% compared to 18.3% citywide. In 2024, things have not improved much. According to LSA Family Health Service, the child poverty rate in East Harlem is the fourth highest in the city at 46.5%. Its overall poverty rate is 31.5%, the ninth worst in New York City. In May 2024, Property Club ranked East Harlem 6th on their list of the 12 most dangerous neighborhoods in NYC. They noted how the violent crime rate is nearly double the national average, and residents face a 1 in 21 chance of becoming a victim of a crime. Number 5. Midtown. Midtown Manhattan, a bustling commercial and entertainment hub, is often associated with iconic landmarks like Times Square, Grand Central Terminal, and the Empire State Building. However, despite its reputation as a vibrant and bustling neighborhood, Midtown has been grappling with a growing concern: crime. While it may not be considered particularly dangerous by many standards, crime rates have been rising in recent years, particularly in areas with high concentrations of homelessness. In May 2024, it was announced that the city plans to close a longtime homeless service center called Main Chance in Manhattan, where locals go for food, support in their housing searches, and relief from the elements. This closure has worried locals who fear it will make the homelessness situation worse. According to Property Club, in 2020 and 2021, there were numerous high-profile incidents where homeless people attacked passersby in Midtown. They also noted how although violent crime isn't as high as other areas, smaller problems like theft are rampant. The property crime rate here is about 7,400 per 100,000 people, and the violent crime rate is around 1,200 per 100,000 people. For these reasons, Midtown came 5th on Property Club's list of the 12 most dangerous neighborhoods in NYC in 2024. Number 4. Bedford-Stuyvesant. Bedford-Stuyvesant, also known as Bed-Stuy, is a neighborhood located in the central part of Brooklyn, New York City. It is situated roughly between downtown Brooklyn and the Crown Heights neighborhood, and is bounded by Flushing Avenue to the north, Classen Avenue to the west, and Atlantic Avenue to the south. Despite its rich history and cultural significance, Bedford-Stuyvesant has long struggled with high levels of crime and poverty. For decades, the neighborhood has faced challenges such as gun violence, drug trafficking, and gang activity, which have contributed to a sense of fear and instability among residents. According to Property Club, the violent crime rate in Bedford-Stuyvesant is about 1,065 per 100,000 people, and the average crime rate is about 2,902 per 100,000 people. They also noted how if you are visiting New York City, Bedford-Stuyvesant is certainly an area to avoid. In 2022, the poverty rate in Bedford-Stuyvesant was 24.8% compared to 18.3% citywide. In 2024, Data USA claimed that 26% of residents live below the poverty line. Number 3. Mott Haven. Located in the South Bronx, Mott Haven is situated on the eastern shore of the Bronx. Despite its prime location, Mott Haven has struggled with persistent issues of poverty, crime, and disinvestment. According to Property Club, Mott Haven is easily one of the worst neighborhoods in New York in terms of safety, with a crime rate that is nearly 400% higher than the national average, a statistic that placed it third on their list of the 12 most dangerous neighborhoods in NYC in 2024. They noted how the violent crime rate here is about 2,039 per 100,000 people, while the overall crime rate is about 5,181 per 100,000 people. According to Crime Grade, Mott Haven is in the second percentile for safety, meaning 98% of neighborhoods are safer and 2% of neighborhoods are more dangerous. They also reported that on average, a crime occurs every 37 minutes in Mott Haven. Additionally, the poverty level in Mott Haven is worryingly high. Out of a population of around 45,000 people, 17,238 residents live below the poverty level. Number 2. Brownsville. Brownsville is a neighborhood located in the southwestern part of Brooklyn, New York City. It is situated between Canarsie and East New York and is bordered by the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway to the west and the Belt Parkway to the east. Despite its proximity to the city's bustling downtown area, Brownsville has struggled with high levels of crime and poverty for decades. As reported by Property Club, Brownsville has a homicide rate of nearly 4 times the average in New York. To that, they said the area is a New York City suburb that you should definitely avoid, stating that the crime rate is not worth the risk for the average human being in New York. These worrying crime stats cemented Brownsville's second place on Property Club's list of the 12 most dangerous neighborhoods in NYC. Along with such a high crime rate, poverty is a big problem, something that can go hand in hand as some residents lean towards crime in desperate times. According to Point Two Homes, with a population of around 78,000 residents, 24,189 people live below the poverty level. Number 1. Hunts Point. Hunts Point is a neighborhood located on the southern tip of the Bronx, New York City, situated along the Bronx River and bordered by the East River and the Bruckner Expressway. Despite its picturesque location and proximity to the city's bustling waterfront, Hunts Point has long been plagued by poverty and crime. In the 1990s, it was even considered part of the poorest congressional district in the country, with over 40% of its residents living below the poverty line. According to Property Club, your chance of being a victim of a crime in Hunts Point is about 1 in 22. They noted how the most concerning crimes in the area are SAs, with cases rising, making it an unsafe place to visit. They also noted how the average violent crime rate is about 1,944 per 100,000 people, stated how drug issues are rampant, and the average crime rate is about 4,557 per 100,000 people. So, it is easy to see why Hunts Point ranked first on their list of the 12 most dangerous neighborhoods in NYC. In terms of poverty, Hunts Point Alliance for Children state that Hunts Point children are disproportionately affected by the barriers to quality education and basic needs. They also noted how 54% of Hunts Point children live in poverty, with 27% of community families living on less than $15,000 a year. What about how bad New York City has gotten since the immigration crisis?